AI is no longer scarce access, it is scarce coordination. Microsoft and LinkedIn report 75% of knowledge workers use generative AI at work, 78% of those users bring their own tools. The strategic gap is no longer who can ask better questions, it is who can convert scattered AI help into managed production. Before competitors turn the same tools into operating leverage, this is execution design. Most teams still treat AI as a smarter search box. Ask, wait, copy, verify, repeat is the common model. This model creates speed but not leverage. Every result still depends on human initiation and memory existing. Prompting improves a moment. Modern work needs a machine that carries context across moment tools, decisions, and follow-ups without resetting every conversation. That reset is the ceiling current AI capabilities. The failure point is not language quality but task ownership. A prompt has no backlog, no operating memory, and no escalation rule. It also lacks a definition of done for any process. When work involves recurring inputs, decisions, and outputs, the highest value question becomes architectural. Who should own the loop after the first request, and where should the human approve? That is, management infrastructure. Notably, this defines the core of effective system design. Prompt engineering optimizes instructions for better results. AI supervision optimizes the entire production system. The human sets goals, constraints, examples, and success criteria. The agent searches, drafts, compares, logs, routes, and retries automatically. The emotional shift is brutal but liberating. You stop being the worker inside the process. You become the manager of the process. Instead, machines absorb the repetitive motion. Now, it feels like true leverage for efficiency. A task becomes agent-ready when it has a stable goal and accessible data. Importantly, it requires repeatable judgment and measurable output. Next, a review path ensures continuous improvement. Anthropic describes the core building block as an augmented LLM with retrieval. More specifically, it includes tools and memory for better performance. Notably, the agent is not just answering questions. Thus, it reaches into knowledge and acts through software. More specifically, it remembers what changed over time. This allows the workflow to improve across cycles. Process becomes compound knowledge that grows stronger over time. The operating model has 5 key layers: goal context, tools, memory, and governance. Goal defines the desired outcome of the system. Context provides documents, policies, customers, and prior decisions. Tools are used to perform actions through email, calendar, databases, and APIs. Memory stores lessons learned from previous interactions. Governance determines what is automatic, what needs approval, and what is forbidden. This ensures controlled execution instead of unregulated behavior. Control replaces improvisation with structured decision-making. The workflow is not just ask and answer. Next, it involves trigger, inspect, plan, execute, verify, escalate, record, and improve. A support agent reads the ticket, checks the account, and drafts the reply. Importantly, they flag policy risk, update the CRM, and schedule the follow-up. More specifically, they write a brief post-mortem to document the process. Notably, the manager only touches exceptions, strategy, and final accountability. Thus, the feedback from the manager helps upgrade tomorrow's run. The loop gets sharper with each iteration. High-income AI work moves from clever phrasing to system control. Next, you need process mapping, tool design, and evaluation. Importantly, memory hygiene, security boundaries, and review discipline matter. OpenAI's agent architecture points in this direction. Agents can plan, call tools, and collaborate across specialists. More specifically, they maintain enough state for multi-step work. Notably, the winning operator designs the environment, not just the sentence. Thus, metrics become the prompt for better outcomes. The strongest gains appear where work is frequent and information heavy. Importantly, generative AI could create 2.6 trillion trees to $4.4 trillion in annual value. Asana reports that 69% of workers say it improves productivity. Note, repeated cognitive labor becomes supervised machine throughput. Efficiency transforms into organizational memory. human attention shifts toward judgment and decision making. Agents can process more and remember more than tired humans. They follow up more consistently but do not own business consequences. Humans keep taste, ethics, prioritization, and negotiation. They also maintain narrative and risk acceptance. The job does not disappear first at the keyboard. It disappears where judgment is reduced into an unnoticed checklist. That checklist is vulnerable and waiting for a workflow owner. What repeats weekly is a key indicator for automation. What inputs are always required helps identify routine tasks. What decision rule is usually applied determines consistency. What output proves completion shows task success. If the answer forms a loop, it belongs in an agent backlog. Start with reporting and inbox triage to build structure. Customer follow-up and research summaries add value quickly. QA checks and meeting preparation ensure quality control. Raise autonomy only after evidence accumulates. Evidence creates trust and supports scalable processes. The career edge is shifting to designing machines that do tasks safely. Next, people who manage agents will compound output while others negotiate with chat windows. Importantly, stop prompting for another isolated answer. More specifically, start managing goals, memory, tools, evaluations, and exceptions. Notably, if your work can become a process, how much is already agent ready? Who will manage it first? And that decision is urgent. Sources used include Microsoft, LinkedIn, McKinsey's, Asana, Anthropic, and OpenAI.